Hello, everybody. We're almost starting on time. We're only a minute late. Yay.
Ooh.
Today
Not that
it's
there's a whole lot of formal schedule for this.
no. This is catch as catch can. Thanks for joining us, Cold and Foxfire. It's good to see you
Mm-hmm.
guys. We've got one more side quest to do. Yay.
One.
Okay, chain of side quests, and oh dear, did I outlevel? I think I outleveled Summoner last night. Yes, Summoner is competing with fishing for being my highest level skill. Nice.
Okay then.
Hello, Tay. Excuse me. Yes, we had a good dinner. Baron cooked
Mm-hmm.
schnausages. So if I don't want to do it, might be back to Goon.
The
Right.
job of the annoying sound effect.
Actually, no. Warrior's the one I haven't really mucked with. But yeah, I'm really disappointed.
It's kind of buried under all the weapon sounds for me.
Well, you ready for this last chain?
No.
Come on, we can do it.
Hold on a second.
Evening.
Hello.
Hey there.
Hope things are going well for you.
For the most part. A lot of the lag issues I was having apparently are now gone.
Yeah,
Oh, very good.
I would not be surprised with your neck of woods if they were weather related.
Yeah, me either.
So. Yeah, I've been. Well, my self-diagnosis of having a sinus infection that's turned into a ear infection was correct because the doctor gave me some antibiotics and now everything smells like burnt dust, which is the standard smell I have when a sinus infection is dying.
Ugh.
Hey, better to catch it early than late. One of the problems I had is, of course, because of all the lockdown restrictions, I can't just, go see my doctor.
Yeah, that's true.
Normally, I'd go see the urgent care, which is, right down the street from us. But all the urgent cares right now are technically closed because they're dealing with so many influx of COVID patients again.
Yeah. Well, right now, I was seeing a headline earlier today. The U.S. as a whole is basically the total number of COVID cases over time is now triple what it was before Omicron showed up.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's spreading. Omicron is spreading that fast.
Bad news, it's spreading like wildfire. Good news, it's not as deadly.
Yeah.
Silver lining?
Yeah. Well, it's basically optimized itself for spreading instead of optimizing itself for how serious it is. Which is good. That's generally how these things end. Because, boy, we're sure not going to ever actually get rid of it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, shall we?
Just a moment. Yep. Okay. And in other news, last week I was, for the audience in general, last week I was dealing with computer issues where it kept dying about once a day. And one major thing that definitely did happen was my RAM was dying. Since at one point, the system basically spontaneously shut down and wouldn't respond to much of anything. And pulling out the RAM and reinserting it basically resolved that, and after that, the system was reporting about half as much RAM as it should have been.
Ooh.
Yeah, so, something had burned out. Replacing the RAM did not solve all of my problems. I was still having spontaneous shutdowns, though with slightly different symptoms. That, thankfully, looks to be purely the main power connector on the motherboard wiggling a bit loose as the board flexed as I was fiddling with all the RAM.
Ooh.
Because having pulled everything Friday evening and reinserted everything, including that power plug, which was not seated quite as solidly as I might have hoped, the system has had no new trouble.
Oh, that's good.
And that's since late Friday. And since it was giving me problems once a day, I am now overdue for the Saturday trouble, the Sunday trouble, and working on overdue for the Monday trouble.
Well, shall we?
Yeah.
Now that we've kind of dumped all the recent life events on people.
Well, there is one other which I might get into in a quiet time in a minute.
Oh.
A budding adventure. Izan has another favor to ask of the only adventurer he knows. Is that your problem? We can... There's several thousands of adventures we could introduce you to.
Mm-hmm.
Most of which I've had to wait in queue behind. Rylea, Thayrin. Just the people I was hoping to see. Now that I've had the opportunity to speak with more of the people here, I realize their plight is even more dire than I had imagined. The recent crisis was caused by the flow of supplies, has caused the flow of supplies to grind to a halt, and the people can scarcely meet their daily needs. This would be the case even without the influx of refugees. One way we might alleviate this is to requisition a shipment from Yadelamad, but the process takes precious time. I fear that many would starve before we see a single sack of grain.
So you want us to fly to Delamad and get a sack of grain?
No. Don't think so small. He wants us to fly to Gridania and get a sack of grain.
Ah! We can actually do that if need be.
All of this is exacerbated by the lack of able-bodied fighters. The wounded are many, and there are few who have the strength and skill to guard us from the beasts lurking in the forest. The Radiant Host would give their lives to protect us, and have, but every day more of them are injured. Bravery alone is only worth so much in the face of overwhelming numbers. And while I am much appreciative of your help so far, I am not so naive as to think you will remain here indefinitely. Yeah, these side quests dry up, we're out.
Mm-hmm.
Had we another of your skill to aid us, we might at least stand a chance to weather the worst of this storm. However, my time at the Great Work was spent largely in solitude, and the people of this village know of little beyond its walls. You've been to the furthest reaches and back, yes?
Oh,
If by
you have
furthest
no
reaches
clue.
you mean the moon, yeah, we've been there. Do you know of anyone else who might lend their stout arm to these humble folk?
I think I know an adventurer or two.
As fierce as us, if not more so?
Yeah. They are of the steppe.
I knew I could count on your wide web of storied personages. Ogul and Kankana, you say? I believe we may be able to kill two birds with one stone with that pair. Unfortunately, my hands are full meeting the medical needs of the village. Seeing as you're already acquainted with these fellows, could you appeal to them on our behalf? Apologies for once again putting so much on your shoulders, but it is for the good of one and all. Can I count on your assistance? Thank you, friends. Well then, off to Yadelama to meet this Kankana, eh? Safe travels, and I will pray that you return with good news.
Firstly, it's just a hop, skip, and a jump over the mountains. Oh, I never noticed this statue before.
Oh yeah! We've been basically up alongside of it.
Yeah, but I didn't get a good view of it, so...
Uh-huh.
Ah, carbuncle. I saw a shiny, I had to look.
And remember to keep your eyes peeled for that one vista. Which, true to form, we have not seen again since being able to get at it.
Isn't that the way?
Mm-hmm.
We know it's around here somewhere.
Yeah. Other news is yesterday had a friend over for board gaming and that went well.
That's good.
Yeah, Jason sounds like he was doing pretty good.
Yeah, I had a successful day of not being successful.
Oh look, it's Hilgard and Rakashir. A ghoul? Hail, Thayrin, Rylea. My day brightens to see you again.
Oh, it's you. Hello?
Well, if it isn't Thayrin and Rylea, I'd wondered when you two might walk through my door again. You will be pleased to hear that young Rakashir has taken to adventuring like a thief to a coin purse. He's even more capable enough to assist me on lesser arduous tasks. Indeed, his future is bright. However, as much as it heartens me to see you, I sense your visit isn't entirely motivated by the curiosity of our affairs, yes? I see. I did not know that Palaka's stand was beset by such troubles, but I suppose I shouldn't be surprised, all things considered. Naturally, I will do all in my power to help. A few words to the right people, and the merchants will have a shipment of supplies ready in the matter of bells. Inform this Yuzan that aid is on the way, and for much less coin than the merchants would usually charge. This chaos has gripped all of Razatan, and it's only together shall we find the strength to release ourselves from it. And if they require an adventure, then look no further. The supplies require brave souls to defend them, correct? Then I offer mine. I will wait you at the gates.
Oh, wait for me! I'm coming too.
Yes, that one has a bright future indeed. Word has it that many refugees suffering further inland. Since their goods won't be leaving Thavnir, I thought I'd send them all there. I can only hope it does some good.
Mm-hmm.
And there was actually another NPC I wanted to talk to while we're here. As soon as I can find her. Down this way. Yeah, this is so not looking good. Must not become disheartened. Must not become disheartened.
No.
Yeah, Dabadi.
Ahaba.
I take it by your appearance you don't hail from these shores. How fascinating. Okay, that's not the one I was looking for. Oh well. She might have moved on. I thought she was around in here, but...
Hmm.
We have uncovered, yes, all the map.
Yes.
Wanted to double check. Sometimes there's this little cubby hole.
No, we got those last night. Would you look at this? Such a large pack of supplies prepared in what felt like a matter of moments.
Yep, she's a true adventurer. Kakana has made good on her word, and not that I doubted she would. The merchants were likely all too eager to make such a sizable trade. They even provided us with bags and coats for the journey. And it appears that Rakashir will be joining us. Try as I might to convince him otherwise, his mind is made up. Hopefully this will prove to be another learning experience for him.
Most likely.
My grandmother always said that my grandmother always did say the road forward is paved with good deeds. The three of us shall see that no beast lays fang or claw on these provisions. There are more supplies to come, but they will be delivered by the Radiant Host. We shall be the vanguard, harbingers of salvation for Palaka's stand. And with that, let us be off. Word of warning, you two, don't become disheartened.
Mm-hmm.
That way leads to pain.
I'm somewhat gratified that this is not a escort quest.
Well, the only way to get from there to here is to fly, so...
It didn't look like they were going to fly. But yeah.
Oh, they probably went through Thavnir. Yeah, unfortunately, Foxfire, all the blue jokes have already been used for Blue Mage.
Mm-hmm.
And trust me, the blue is very strong in Blue Mage achievements. Uh-oh, looks like they have a bit of trouble. With a beetle.
Oh, that's what I forgot to do. Actually, several things I forgot to do.
Yeah, I'm getting some serious frame skipping here. Well, I'm noticing signs that something's not quite right with my video card. Like, he keeps every now and then switching to the DVI port.
Odd.
Yeah.
That was splendid display indeed. Your bravery never ceases to impress.
What a fright that beast gave us. I've never seen such a fierce warrior. I dare say she's every bit your equal.
Children are so easily impressed. While Thayrin and Rylea are indeed formidable adventurers, your teacher has many great deeds to her name, and more yet to come. Now, the village is not far. Let us march. I challenge any monster to approach.
Hold on! You forgot the supplies!
Yeah, I think
Well,
those
apparently he has a back pocket big enough to hold that entire pack.
two. I think those two will be good for each other. Now, if he just get some weapon skills under his belt.
That would help.
Excuse me.
Okay. You're excused.
Oh, very nice. You took down a purple.
Better her than us.
Rakashar?
They cut the monster down before it had a chance to pounce. Really good with them.
Greetings, Thayrin, Rylea. I did not expect to meet you here of all places. Did you see that, Rakashir? Mark well how quickly that beast succumbed to the fury of blades. In no small part thanks to this brave Akasodra. So this is the adventure that Yazan spoke of. Not since my last hunt with sister have I fought so effortlessly with another. Oh, and never have I felt so invigorated. I have such a mighty Akasodra fighting by my side.
Bonding. How do you keep it up? Just watching you has me out of breath.
Practice and stamina. Endurance is the product of long hours of patience, lad. Well then, it seems my hunt is finished. Let us return to Palaka's stand before we draw attention to something deadlier. Yazan will be eager to speak with you upon your return. Do not keep him waiting for long. Well, she's come a long way if she doesn't mind fighting with an Akisodra by her side.
Yes.
Considering she was absolutely and utterly terrified of Matanga when we first met her.
Yes.
Yazan?
There you are. Sula told me you've brought both the supplies and the protection you promised. She is at present preparing the game she hunted.
She has promised to spar with me afterwards. I am fast feeling that I have made the right choice in coming here.
I'm grateful for it, lass. It will do Sula good to have your energizing presence by her side. I understand that there are yet more supplies to come. I must find a way to thank the merchants and the one who spurred them to action. Kankana, was it? If there's anything else you require from the merchants, she'll be happy to help.
Yes.
It seems we found a reliable ally, thanks to you. Oh, teacher, don't forget, you should ask about the journal we found.
Yes, of course. I was just about to mention it. The beast Sula and I felt was holding fast to this. Perhaps you know who the owner is?
This... by the Menusa. Yes, I do in fact know who penned this journal. They were dear friends of mine. Fortunately, they didn't survive the tragedy that befell us.
I see. I'm sorry for your loss.
Thank you. Luckily, their memory lives on in their child. And now, this journal. I remember them mentioning a journal before, actually. When she comes of age, I'll show this to her, that she might come to know who her parents were.
Life is but a string of meetings and farewells. It is our memories that sustain us, that give us life. In this way, those who journey as did watch over those who with the strength to step forward into a new day. Dang it!
Is someone chopping onions?
Yes, someone is chopping onions. Of all my grandmother's past, all the wisdom my grandmother has passed down, I hold this to be the most precious. Memories are the greatest treasure that we can leave behind.
Your grandmother had a way with words. She could have taught even the divinities a thing or two.
I dare say you may be right, young Rakashir. I am not half as wise as she, but her sage advice has been a beacon which always guides me true. Yeah, Business Division 3 seems to be utterly hell-bent on destroying my tear ducts. Is on?
Ogle seems eager to speak with you, doesn't she?
Rakashir?
As soon as I can. I see now why my teacher is so wise. She had a wise teacher herself.
Funny how that works. Truth be told, I first accompanied you here to repay the debt I owed, as grandmother would have wanted. I see now, however, that fate intended me to be here. In Sula, I have met a comrade at arms, and in Rakashir, I have found a capable and eager student. For both their sakes, I must strive to be better the day I was before. Perhaps I should take up the art of dance? A fierce display that the Sekikitsumi compelled me to set... The fierce display of the Sekikitsumi compelled me to set down my spear and take up the katana, but the grace and deadliness by which the dancers threw the weapons has charms all its own. Some measure of peace has returned to the Matanga, and I believe my skills would be better put use here. An adventurer must count court. Stupid tears are making my eyeglasses. Let's try that again. The adventurers must court challenge after all. My teacher has a daring spirit. Sorry, that was yours. My bad.
Yeah. My teacher has a daring spirit, if slightly reckless. But worry not, I'll make sure she doesn't come to harm.
You do that. Have you listened to a single word I have said, Rakashir? You have no notion of the dangers I must brave daily, for now you should be content to behold the great deeds and learn from them. I'll wager your adventurers will soon take you far from here, Thayrin, Rylea. Rest assured, I will safeguard the people of Palaka stand in your stead. I look forward to hearing the tales of your exploits. Well then, first order of the day is to attune to the Aetherite and gather information. Jot this lesson down, young Rakashi, for there are fundamentals of adventuring. Come on. Yes, always touchy the Aetherites. Ain't that right, Rift? He's like, orc?
Yep.
That's your job, not mine.
Yeah, he doesn't use them himself. Our lack of supplies was weighing heavily on my mind. I feared for both Passerine and the child, but for the first time in a long while, I can breathe easy. Ogle's presence has proven to be a salve on Sula's mood as well. She laughs as she hasn't since her sister's passing. We both have you to thank for our reversals of fortune. Even the departed have benefited from Ugel's arrival. The delivery of the journal was an unexpected boon, and it will doubtless prove to be vital in raising the child. When she becomes old enough to understand its contents, she will come to know the deep love her parents bore for her. A love so steadfast that it will shield her from the world's cruelty. Of course, I intend to tell her all about your part in her salvation as well. But for now, there's work to be done, for both of us, I'm sure. Wheresoever your travels may take you, don't forget the friends you have in this corner of Thavnair. And lastly, be safe. If you die before I can repay the debt I owe you, I'll hunt you through the 7 hells until the ledger is balanced. So let's see it doesn't come to that, eh? Yeah, I wouldn't want to put you through that much trouble.
The road is long and windy, and we've got a long way to go.
Well, that did not turn into a 5-quest chain.
Yeah, I know.
What's wrong with them?
Though it's back to our mains.
Back to the mighty hat.
You like that hat, be honest.
Did I say I didn't?
Well, there you go.
But it is a mighty hat.
By the way, one of the things that happened last night, all my trusts are now maxed.
I haven't even got my trust up to 80.
Well, everyone seems to be hanging out here. Alphino?
There's a lingering sense of desolation here, but that is much preferable to the panic and chaos we saw before.
Hello, Octi!
Yeah, Octi.
Why are you counting it desolate when we constantly see adventurers running past and over us? Okay, I'll say. The poor old woman who became the beast said her grandson had gone to Palaka's stand. I hope he survived.
It will be a struggle for the people to come to terms with these tragedies, but they are far stronger than you may think. It is good to see you safe. Given the skies, 'tis all too easy to fear the worst. I am pleased to report that we've succeeded in quelling the threat here in the city. The beasts have all been felled, and the citizens are safe for now. I've also heard from the Radiant that an important proclamation will be made in the city square, though they said no more than that. Might you have any idea what this is about? Yes.
Yeah.
So Vritra is finally coming out from behind the curtain. I suppose we too should hear what he has to say. So Megaduda then. But before that, it would appear that word of the assembly has not yet reached all the citizens. If anyone along the way seems unaware, we'd best enlighten them. Hold on. I'm sure everyone will hear about it soon enough, but those who don't attend will be kicking themselves later for missing what's certain to be a historic moment.
Agreed.
But yeah, there's an image. Pay no attention to the dragon behind the curtain.
Well, that's what he's been doing for...
Yes, I know, that's literally it, but...
Excuse me, son.
Are the beasts all gone? I've been hiding and I'm too scared to go out and look.
They're all gone. In fact, you want to head to the square.
Oh, that's a relief. I thought one of those beasts was going to eat me. Oh, I wonder where Vershawn is. He's the slowest runner. I hope he got away. He could be with the other people from the palace. Maybe I'll see him in the square.
Go check. Hey there.
Let me be me, please. I swear to you, my flesh tastes absolutely terrible.
Do I look like a monster?
Oh, gods, what are you doing scaring me like that? If we're not quiet, those beasts will find us.
They're gone. Don't worry. We took care of them.
The square, you say? That's where the satrap was killed. With my very eyes, I saw him crushed in that creature's maw. So many lives lost. Such terrible carnage. You say there's someone else who would be lead Razadhan in his stead? Whoever they are, if they say anything to sully the memory of our beloved satrap, I'll make them regret it.
Good men all the way down. Wish the world was full of more good men like that. Oh, we got quite the gaggle here. Including the carbuncle. I'm sorry. Give me a minute. Must pet all the carbuncles. Because they're good boys. Ingrid?
Finished rounding up the stragglers. Proclamation will begin shortly. Let's wait here lest we miss something important.
Welcome back, Thayrin, Rylea. Often told me everything. I was pleased to hear that Vertra has chosen to reveal himself at last. The people of Razadhan need a strong and wise satrap more than ever. The people slowly make their way here, but there are more still gripped by fear and doubt. Hopefully Vertra's message of hope will resonate strong enough with the ones willing to listen, and spread to every corner of Thafdare.
I hear you were able to bring the situation in Plaka's stand under control. Every life lost is a tragedy, but you should take pride in doing what you could. When I assumed command during the earlier panic, I did so instinctively and out of necessity. It was not my place to give orders, but I'm glad the people heeded them. But now they have need of a true leader, a magnanimous and just satrap who can guide them every step of the way. Fortunately, they are blessed with one such soul. If anyone can protect and guide them through this calamity, it is he. It would seem the people still have lingering doubts, and I cannot blame them. Yet we know what strength is afforded us with one of the first brood on our side. I have faith the citizenry will come to understand and accept him in time. Worm and man, working towards a common goal.
You want a worm buddy, don't you? Well... Oh god, the ferret's sitting on his head. That's hilariously adorable. And there's a nutkin over my destination.
Oops.
Look, someone's coming.
People of Razathan, it warms my heart to see so many brave, resilient souls before me. Today, I would share with you a great revelation. But before I do, I must make a humble request. Do not be alarmed, nor avert your eyes. See the one I unveil for who he is, and know that he means you no harm.
Very well. I dare say it can't be worse than the horrors we've already seen.
Many thanks.
A dragon!
Wow!
People of Radzathan, I am Vritra, and for years uncounted hath this isle served as mine abode. Tis as the Satrap's ally I am known. Today, I would reveal the truth unto you.
Let us hope they accept him.
With that reaction, they probably already have.
If I am hearing this right, you were the satrap all along?
Vashan! I mean, Master Vitra, does your divine eye really see all?
Nay, child. While mine eye hath borne witness to the whole of our nation's history, to its future I am blind as thee. Countrymen, calamity the likes of which we have never known is come to Fafnir, our home. Friends and loved ones have been taken from us. I, too, have lost my closest confidant. Ahawan loved this land and served it with dignity till his dying breath. A nobler satrap there will never be. For so long, I lacked the courage to face you. I will not easily earn your trust, this I know. And yet, I cannot sit idly by and abandon Radzathan to her fate. A font of boundless vibrancy, this jewel of the ocean. Since time immemorial, hath she glittered with every color imaginable. To this dragon, slumbering in his dark lair, 'twas a mesmerizing sight, and one that brought no end of joy to my heart. This calamity hath stolen too much from you already, yet so long as you live, the light of Radzathan will never be extinguished. I pray you let me watch over it, over you, and lend me your strength that we might face
I do not know you, dragon, but I thank you for speaking the truth to us. As divinities, both Manusha and Riga once joined together, so too do I believe that hand in hand, we can overcome this ordeal and welcome an era of peace.
A sight that would have surely brought a smile to Izel's face.
Indeed.
Excuse me, but I must speak with the Satrap at once.
Father!
You have suffered dearly of late, yet you must endeavor to look beyond these losses to the future you yet have. On behalf of the Forum of Sharlayan, I come with a proposal by which you, the people of Radzat-Han, might be saved. I say again, I must speak with your Satrap. I beseech you, take me to him with all possible haste.
He's over there.
I am Satrap here. Speak thy proposal. All present shall hear and judge.
He was not expecting that one.
If I have given
Nope.
offense, then I apologize. First, allow me to share with you what knowledge we have of the phenomenon responsible for your woes. The final days. 'Tis an affliction of stagnancy and rot, sown into the currents of the star. Though the first prominent manifestation was here, in Thavner, it will invariably spread to every corner of the world. The Forum was forewarned of this apocalypse several centuries ago. Thenceforth, my predecessors sought to prepare for the end times in the only conceivable fashion, by securing a means of escape.
Escape the star? What madness is this?
'Tis by no means madness. With the coming of the 7th umbral calamity, the true nature of the Red Moon, Dalamod, was revealed. That it was an artificial construct of ancient Alag. But what of the Silver Moon? This celestial satellite is yet another technological marvel fashioned and maintained by ancient allies. A ship that will sail the heavens and deliver our people from destruction. And by our people, I speak not only of Sharlayan. We mean to save every man, woman, and child it is within our power to save. Including you, our dear friends of Radzat-Han. Recent events necessitate adjustments be made, and quickly, but we can and will escort you safely to the moon.
Long has thy forum been allies to Thavner. I trust thou dost not extend this offer lightly. Yet I wonder, is this truly the way? Is there a future to be built for us beyond this star our father deemed the last bastion of hope?
It is for that very reason I come before you and your people. To answer any and all of your questions. To offer my assurances and allay your fears. Though, if you wish the best for your people, I advise you to render your decision swiftly.
Show our friends to Megaduta. They are to be received as honored guests. Worry not. Whatever decision is reached, your paths shall be yours to decide. Until then, heed the warning of these brave heroes. Guard your hearts against fear and despair, for it is within such fertile soil that the seeds of blasphemy find purchase. Remain calm and attend to your daily tasks. I shall return anon.
We'll do as you say, Master Vitra. We believe in you.
Okay.
Oh, you're still here. What a relief.
Nidana, what's the matter? Has something happened at Palika's stand?
Oh, no, not that I know of. I just hope to hear your thoughts on a theory of mine.
An alchemist true.
All who undergo the transformation are drained of their ether, yes? What is it then that gives these beasts the strength to carry on as they do? Logically, they must be drawing upon an alternate form of vital energy. That put me in mind of our earlier conversation, when I tried to explain the essence which many confuse with ether.
Akasha. Yes, I remember. The unseen gift bestowed from on high. An energy influenced solely by emotion.
Yes, yes. In this instance, negative ones set Akasha into motion, thereby infusing the beasts with vitality. I posit this as the mechanism by which the beasts are born and sustained. Do you still have that flower?
Ew. Ooh. Oh, crap.
If we accept that it once shone bright by drawing upon Akasha, influenced by the thoughts of those nearby, then fear, terror, despair, negative emotions so powerful as to suffocate it, permeated the air in this place. You must be very careful. The forces which drive the final days may be beyond our ability to perceive. Sorry, I didn't mean to scare you like that. At any rate, I will continue my research into Akasha. Do temper your expectations, however. There are sadly few detailed studies upon which I may draw.
Formulating a new theory as you have is itself no small feat. I wish you well in your endeavors, and pray you take care.
Thank you. You stay safe as well, yes? Till next we meet. And we will meet again.
That's the spirit.
Well then.
Sacred?
Their solution sits ill with me, but if life has taught me anything, is that there is little to be gained from arguing with Charlans. We must take it upon ourselves to find a better way.
were Vitra to acquiesce to their proposal, just how do the Charlings intend to transport the nation's entire populace to the moon?
Very carefully.
Oh.
And lots of city buses. Oh, I mean lunar whales.
Boop boop.
I have been entrusted with a message meant for you and your companions. When you are done speaking amongst yourselves, I would share it with you.
We have no better, safer course of action to offer them than fleeing to the moon. I know this, and yet Vertra and his people love their home. There must be something we can do. We're working on it.
That soldier of the Radiant there, if I'm not mistaken, he accompanied Iowan to Vanaspati. Could it be that he knew Frita's identity all along? Under normal circumstances, the Forum's proposal would be regarded as sheer madness. But when the sky burns, even madness can sound appealing. Doubtless Frita is loath to abandon his home. And yet, absent other options, he cannot dismiss the option out of hand. As far as we have come, and after all the horrors we have seen, there's still so much we do not know about the final days. Could it be as Nadana said, that the cause of this phenomenon is beyond our comprehension? And if so, are we powerless to forestall it?
Checking with Alfie again.
Alfie Toad?
Yes.
No matter what my father and the Forum say, giving up and abandoning this place cannot be our only recourse.
Estinian's the same.
Yeah, the others should be.
Okay, Mr. Radiant Host.
At World's End. The Radiant Host Soldier has a message for the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. Greetings, honored Scions of the Seventh Dawn. I have a message from His Excellency, the Satrap. Brave Scions, you have my gratitude for aiding my people in this most trying of times. Alas, matters here at Megaduta prevent me from meeting you all in person. As a token of mine appreciation, I have arranged for a feast to be held in your honor. May it nourish you in preparation for the trials ahead. Such are the words of Master Vritra. The feast he speaks of awaits you at Mirhide's Mayhane. Pray make your way there whenever your business here is done. We thank you for your kindness. Indeed, I was hoping we might find a place to discuss our next course of action, and that seems an ideal venue. And to you, Rylea and Thayrin, there is someone we had hoped to introduce you to you in particular. While I am loath to detain you further, might you spare a moment of your time?
A personal invitation, knowing full well your services are in the highest demand right now? This must be important. Worry not, we'll save some food for you, so take all the time you need. You better make sure you leave at least one fish. You know how Rylea gets when everyone else has fish and she doesn't.
Meow. Thank you, friends. Whenever you are ready, please join me in the Aetheryte Plaza. I shall go on ahead.
And just checking. We do not have any side quests yet.
And I note that Square Enix has rather solidly joined the ranks of Japanese foodie media. How many feasts and banquets and dinners are they going to put us through in this storyline?
Especially when literally just about all of them, except for maybe one or two, has ended with disaster.
Well, no. We've
I went the wrong way, didn't I? Yes, I did. Dang it.
They don't know. You know, the main dinner of the Scions ended well enough.
Yeah, that's like one of the few.
I'm trying to remember what the second meal we had during this storyline was. I know there was a second.
If it wasn't for my allergies in real life, I would adore this place. Okay, Mr. Host?
I think Host is his middle name. It's Mr. Soldier.
Oh, okay.
Access to the Aetherite you see there has been restricted to a select few ever since the tower first appeared. We sincerely apologize for the inconvenience, but it was deemed too dangerous to permit the free movement of visitors at a time of emergency, a risk we could not take. In light of recent developments, however, the Satrap has decided that such restrictions would only hinder our efforts to combat the final days. As such, I would encourage you to attune with the Aetherite before proceeding along the corridor.
Finally, we get this one unlocked!
It's been mocking us for ages.
But it also means that this place is opened up to us as a major hub now. Arween? Our people slaughtered, our satrap left unprotected. Radiant host indeed. Hapless babes in the wood, more like it. It is as Master Vitra says, should the people unite in the midst of adversary, then it is the Radiant host's duty to risk life and limb to keep them safe. You can only do what you can do.
Excuse me.
You okay there?
Mostly. Just hiccups.
Oh, for some reason we do not have this one.
Okay. And that's all of them.
Indeed.
Ah, you must be wondering what this place is. You stand in the Hall of the Radiant Host, from where our leadership oversees all of Razathan's military operations. Sundrop, our destination, lies just ahead.
Oh, are we going to meet the head of the Radiant Host?
So it would seem. Ishgardian delegate.
I
went
clicked
great.
in.
You silly.
Sorry, I can't just hit escape. Hold on, let me flip screens. I think that one's you.
Yes. Just making sure you switched. Sorry, I was... Oh, Rylea Sarnath. Ishgard remembers, let there be no doubt. The Fury favors us this day, that we may stand in the presence of a true hero. Shirabat. So you're the one I've heard so much about. Doman delegate. Do you think I would meet Doma's savior here, in this distant land? Alamigan delegate. The liberator of Alamigo is always a welcome sight. If I can be of service in any way, just ask. Uldan delegate.
Well, look who we have here. Your words, your deeds. Word of your deeds at Razadhan has reached the Sultanate, so you know.
Gridanian delegate. Wait, I know you. But forgive me, idle chatter can wait. Lominson delegate. Rylea, we've been waiting for you. Well, 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 well. Welcome to Sundrop. Without further ado, allow me to introduce you to...
Oh ho! So you're the famous Thayrin Vexta and Rylea Sarnath, eh? I knew the moment you stepped through the door. You've the look of one who's walked through hell.
I'll try not to take that personally. Sure, Abbot, please. You're speaking to the Satrap's honored guest and a savior of our people. Can you not show a modicum of respect? She was.
What disrespect is there in paying a fellow warrior a compliment? We've all friends here, or will be soon enough. More formally then, for the benefit of my countrymen, it is a pleasure to have you with us, O great champion of Eorzea, scion of the Seventh Dawn, warriors of light, and all-around good egg, I'm sure.
I think I like her. This talk of eggs reminds me I'm late for dinner.
Oh, what is this place?
Yes. More like, what is this meeting?
I hear you've been to Kagane, where you've seen all sorts of foreign embassies and whatnot. Well, we've got them here in Razadhan too. The other lands send delegates to oversee trade diplomatic dealings. Then there are military matters to discuss, which is why all these officers are stationed here in Sundrop. I imagine you're more familiar with each of the nations they represent, yes?
Yeah.
We've got representatives from Doma, Ulda and Alamigo, Limsa Lomenza, Gridania, and last but never let it be said least, Ishgard. They're the eyes, ears, and mouths that bridge the distance between Razadhan and the representative homelands. We use this brief respite to share details of our plight with our overseas counterparts. And wouldn't you know it, all their leaders requested a few words from you specifically. You two are people in high demand, eh? And so, would you mind regaling us with your own account? Indulge us before you indulge yourself.
I thank you for the report. The conditions under which men are turned into beasts, the etheric anomalies you've observed, you've given us much to consider. It is concerning that the first transformation apparently occurred before the skies turned red. is contrary to what one would expect. Thankfully, the information you conveyed to Lucia upon your return from the moon has already proved invaluable. As soon as reports of the calamity here in Thavnir reached the Grand Company of Eorzea and our four eastern allies, our leaders knew at once that the final days were indeed upon us. They began taking steps to assess the extent of the phenomenon's spread. Our agents were able to confirm that, for the time being, the skies burn only over the Bounty, including this island and Corvos.
Ooh.
Alas, that is of little comfort. Aye, all throughout Allied lands there have been reports of people transforming into hideous beasts. From what little we have learned, these incidents are similar in nature to that involving the merchant Kalzal. As was the case here, the victims underwent the change prior to the heavens being set ablaze. So, while the burning skies have yet to manifest beyond the Bounty, transformations do not appear to be subject to any similar restriction. If anyone, anywhere, overcome by despair can turn, then nowhere is safe.
And that's about the size of it. Speaking of which, we ought to give these creatures a name, don't you think? Here at Razathan, we've been calling the first to change, which tend to be the biggest, blasphemies.
As fitting a name as any, to ensure clarity in future communications, we shall urge our comrades to adopt this terminology.
Our leaders have taken measure to deal with the threat to the best of our abilities.
Aye, each nation has assembled their own groups of elite soldiers to put down these so-called blasphemies and their spawn as and when they appear. At the same time, they're doing all in their power to put the people's minds at ease and prevent panic and fear from spreading. That said, brave souls with the strength and fortitude to fell these terrible fiends are not easily found. Just so. And it is for that very reason that we turn to you. Pray, lend us your strength and help us to slay the blasphemies that plague our homelands. And my copious spare time.
Now, you don't have to give your reply before dinner. I should also mention that each blasphemy seems to possess wildly different characteristics. What works well with one may serve you poorly against another. So, before you go rushing off to save everyone's day, have a word with the delegates. They'll tell you what to expect.
How many trials are they about to throw at us?
And with that, I do believe our friend here has a feast to attend. Spare a thought for us while you're tucked into that fine cuisine, eh?
You've gained access to the role quests. Separate quest line and story is now available for tank, melee, physical range DPS, magical range DPS, and healer. Undertake these quests, speak with any of the delegates in Sundrop, and agree to help defeat the blasphemies that plague their respective homelands.
I assume we basically just want to follow the ranged DPS?
Since that's the only thing that's 85 for me, yes.
And since I've got Dancer up to match with you.
The Doman Delegate.
Apparently.
Seeds of Disquiet. The Doman Delegate is seeking able-bodied adventurers on behalf of Lord Hien. Do mine eyes deceive me? Lady Rylea, Lord Vexna. Oh, thank the Kami. Lord Hien has requested assistance in the resolution of a most urgent matter. The hunt for a fell beast believed to be a blasphemy. I think I'd rather hunt that than stun Localos. Though we have made great strides in ensuring the safety of our people, we fear even our finest shinobi will be no match for this enemy, for it commands the skies of Doma. But as your talent for striking down foes at a distance is beyond compare, I can think of no one better to aid us in overcoming this adversary. Twould be my pleasure. Oh, Kami be praised. I shall inform Lady Yukiri that she may receive you at the Doman Enclave. Safe travels.
Now, I did a little research on these earlier. While they come in a lot later, we get one every single level.
Oh dear.
So I don't know if we want to hold on this and then push through the storyline a little more, or come back.
Up to you.
Because it does kind of take us away. Maybe when we do a zone shift.
Okay.
Which should be happening soon, actually.
Yes. This should be kind of the interstitial to one.
Yeah, if they send us back to Old Sherlin, we can probably just do a couple then at that point.
Well, do one at least.
You're 86, so you could do 2.
Ah. Pray forgive Shurabat for rudeness. She can be a bit boisterous at times, but it is simply her nature. Anyway, my apologies for keeping you from your hard-earned rest. You'll be rejoining your comrade and companions, yes? Do you know the way to the Mehen?
I have a terrible sense of direction.
Really? In that case, I have no hope. Truly, a remarkable weakness for such a well-traveled adventurer. Anyway, you can either use the Aethernet or go by foot via the Aetherite Plaza. From there, cross through Balshan Bazaar and continue down the passage. You'll find yourself right in front of the Mehen. When you arrive, pray request the drink of your choice. Meraid says that tonight it's on the house. And with that, I must return to my post. On behalf of all the Radiant Host, I thank you and your friends once more for lending your strength and courage to Razdat Han in our time of need. We shall endeavor to fight the good fight to the end, that we might honor Aoiwan's legacy and serve Master Vritra well. You have my word that your efforts will not be in vain. Actually, before we go anywhere...
Thanks for taking the time to stop by. You're free to talk with our delegates more if the mood strikes you, or head off to the banquet if you've had your fill of words for the day. Ridding the lands of blasphemies is an important task, to be sure, but one that's best done on a full belly and a good night's rest, if you ask me. Do take care of yourselves, you hear? I think that's their hint that they want us to go to the banquet first.
Something like that.
And I slipped back into Dragoon. Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. We have a problem.
What?
Check the map.
One oh.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're not gonna get to that banquet tonight, are we?
Oh. Ow.
Oh, sorry.
Not gonna go for the close one first?
Yeah. Close one first, but not the quest. No rest for the wicked.
And we are coming close to 11.
Yeah, I'm debating whether we want to just call it now and pick up the quests
I think
on
so.
Wednesday. Because I really gotta use the little Elysian's room.
That's an even better reason. Yeah, let's call it here.
I'm gonna have a seat here.
Keep Alpha no company,
Yeah, he looks lonely.
whether he wants it or not.
Yep.
He's trying to do his observe from afar thing.
He's imitating his hero, Estinian, in the background. Who's determined
No, he's
to
not
hold up
propping
the
up a wall.
Well, thank you all very much for joining us. We will definitely be back Wednesday, starting at 9:30, knock on wood. And we've got a lot more side quests.
Side quests. Side quests as far as the eye can see.
Yes. In any case, you all have a great night. Be well, sleep well, be safe, be well, and hope to see you Wednesday.
Yes, everyone have a good night.
Not everyone.